to another edition of the Joe Dorgan Show. This is show number 7, and my special guest today is Hector G. How are you?
Hey, wait, Joe Dorgan? Wait, I thought I was supposed to be on the Joe Rogan podcast. Come on.
Well, it's been a while. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself, Joe?
I'm doing good. First question I ask is, I never kicked you out of Club 1, did I? Everyone blames me for kicking people out.
No, I've been seeing that after the party with your guests, huh? At some point, somebody getting kicked out. No, I was a well-behaved boy.
Great. Well, tell us about yourself. What have you been up to? What do you we'll talk about the 101 stuff, but.
Well, myself, I was, we'll go way back. I was born in El Paso. My dad joined the Marines, so military brat. So moved from El Paso to California in 5th grade, I think. From California, went to Hawaii. Then we came back here to El Paso from like late 94 to 96. And then we moved to Japan. And then in 2000, came back to El Paso. So I've been exposed to a lot of music and stuff, and tons of music from around the world, literally, and always been a big music fan. And during those crucial years from in high school, from 95, 96, I went to a lot of shows here in El Paso, and that's where my first experience with 101 started.
I love that background. These are some of those are actual album covers.
Yeah. These are frames. Like it's a cloth frame with you just kind of slide them in there and stuff, and you could display all the records. Check them out. I actually do some commercials for the guy that makes these things.
That's nice. I need to get one of those. So we were talking earlier. One of the most famous shows, probably at 101, the Double Bill show, was that 311 show, and you were at that show.
Yeah, of course. How can I miss that show? Jeez, I lost my teenage mind when I heard that 311 and Korn were playing together. And hell, Korn had just come out, huh? Yeah, it was their first album, and 311, I think, just came out with the Blue album. I think.
Yeah, we had that show in the alleyway, and the manager Eddie Ankala had that Western theme style going out there. It was cool. I remember talking to Jonathan Davis. He was the opening. Well, they were the opening at Korn. They killed it. I remember coming off the stage, and he was, because it was outside. So 101 was actually like a backstage area. And, it was really nice talking to him. So what do you remember about that show?
I remember going and being very surprised that it was going to be in the alley. Why did you have it in the alley? Just capacity-wise or what? Or was it last minute or what?
Yeah, I think it was capacity wise. We just, we thought those were some really fun shows. I know we had, we had some really good shows out there. But of course, that was the greatest double bill show at 101 ever.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, Korn. I saw Korn for the first time opening up for Danzig at the Coliseum, and I didn't know who they were. As a matter of fact, my buddy and I were just talking about it. Who was it? Korn, Marilyn Manson, and Danzig. Yeah. So Korn, I hadn't heard of him. None of my buddies heard of him, and I was actually got a white shirt and just wrote Korn on it, like with a question mark, like who the hell's Korn? I ended up loving them.
I think we had done. I don't know if Fugazi was before 311 Korn show, but we had some large success with that outdoor show, so we had it out there. Of course, weather plays a factor, and I prefer doing indoor shows, definitely. So you're also a musician too. You had a band called Fire at Will here in El Paso.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, Fire at Will. We got together. A buddy of mine, a couple of buddies of mine, they were in a band called Fear to Sail. and then they kind of broke up. And I had known these guys for a while in the scene, and yeah, we just started jamming together. And it, oddly enough, like it was probably the easiest band to be in because everybody just clicked. We busted out a bunch of songs, and somehow we got on a lot of big shows, and we started doing really well. And yeah, that was fun. I mean, I've been in the scene, I guess, for a while. I've been in a ton of bands, like a ton of bands. And
Yeah.
recently, not so much, I guess. Kind of faded out a little. Oh, I'm going to try to get back in a few bands.
Well, so you mentioned that you opened up for Voodoo Glow Skulls and you screamed at Frank. What happened there?
I got pretty drunk. I got pretty drunk at the show. And Voodoo Glow Skulls, well, they play here it seemed like every other month or something. So we've seen them a
Yes.
whole bunch, but I don't know. This night we were like really pumped, and I was really drunk, and I was just being obnoxious. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was just like, "Oh, it's Frank! Look, it's Frank!" And I just started screaming, "Frank!" And I couldn't even remember if that was his name. Luckily, it was. And then I tried to look for that picture. Well, I have a picture of me and Frank, and I'm just like, ugh, and he looked really annoyed standing right next to me. I'll try to get you that picture or something. But yeah, it was a really fun show, and that's when I think it was on Airway 101 on Airway. Yeah, it
Right.
was. And
What were some, what were some of
uh,
the other bands that you were in? Did they play at 101 or just Fire at Will, or do you
I
remember?
think it's just Fire Will. Man, okay, I have a list. Let me see. Oh, all right. I've been in Angel Burn, Fluxion, De Machina, March of Chronos, Extremity, Devices and Shift, Spoiler, The Pine, Go for Broke, Fire at Will, Fuel the Fire, Tita, Empathy, Birthday Sex, Thug. So, and those are the only ones I could remember. So,
Wow,
yeah.
that's a lot of bands. That's I mean, it's like a relationship. If it works, it doesn't work. You broke up with a lot of people there.
I know, and that's my problem. And that's my problem. I don't stick to anything where something happens. I don't know. It's a curse. It's a gift. It's a curse. I don't know.
So you
But
mentioned a story about the alien. That was at Area 51, which was the dance hall concert slash behind 101. Tell us about that. What was that incident?
yeah, well, first of all, I mean, a lot of people called Area 51 E9. Well, it was all synonymous, I guess. But
Yeah,
I
right.
guess a lot of people don't know E9 was the smaller room, and Area 51 was the bigger one. But anyway, yeah, see so many stories, ridiculous stories like that. I think it was Real Big Fish. And I found out later that my buddy Odin, I mean, code name Odin, he's a ridiculous guy. And he tried to like jump up because, yeah, it's that big, what was it made out of? Foam or what? But
I
the
think it was
alien
paper
was,
mache. Yeah, it was made in
oh,
Juarez, and yeah, it was pretty
ooh,
cool.
that's not strong though. But yeah, the alien had a finger out like that or something. And my buddy like jumped up, tried to hang on to it, and just tore the whole thing down. And I didn't see it, but he told me afterward, and my cousin told me afterward. I'm like, what the hell? You broke the alien's finger? They're gonna be pissed. If they saw that, you're like banned for life. And I didn't see it, so it was. Did you notice after that show that it was like gone or what?
I think I remembered that there was his hand missing or something like that. But yeah, there's been several stories like that that I get to hear decades later. It's all
No,
good.
no kidding. Like, no, I know.
It,
No, I
I
know.
think it's past the statute of limitations, right?
I don't know. In the
Anyway,
club world, is it ever?
yeah, that was a cool room. What do you remember about 101? Did you go to the dance nights or did you go to the club nights or mostly shows?
See, no, and that's the thing. Like I've been like a metal punk guy my whole life, but and I never danced. I never liked dancing. I was always embarrassed, and I can't dance at all in the first place. But 101 was the only place, and I would talk to my girlfriend about it. She's a few years younger than me, and we both like the retro, the '80s, the alternative, and all that. And we always complained that there's never any cool places to go dance. Sometimes we just want to dance, even if we can't, but we just want to do. And we thought and racked our brains like, where the hell can we go dance? There's no place. I don't want to go dance to hip hop. I don't want to go dance to reggaeton or Latin music. I don't like it, you know. And then I would go into reminisce mode and tell her all these tales of this magical place that they played all this music, you know, and the countless Saturday nights that we'd go. Well, just a buddy of mine. We go and drink until we felt comfortable enough to dance, and we'd dance all night to that music. And there's no place like that here at all. Like a club to go dance, like in the '80s movies and stuff. There's not. So she missed out on an awesome era of that because it's not around. Not that I found anywhere.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that loved to come and hang out and didn't dance, but they felt comfortable about going to 101. So that was cool.
Yeah,
So
man. And
how did you get on the Anything Box Street team?
I don't
You
remember.
remember?
I really don't remember.
Must have been Eddie. He conned you, got you some alcohol. I don't know.
No. If I remember correctly, I think I spoke to you because there was a period where I hung out a lot, and maybe it was through. Well, it was before. I guess it was before the internet really took off or something. I can't remember, but I don't. I'm pretty sure it was you, and you just said, "Hey, we have this gig, and not a gig, but like a job for you guys, a task." And you gave us Wet and Wild tickets. I think it was during Balloon Fest or something, because I remember going to Wet and Wild and seeing Sammy Hagar. I'm like, you know, and we just took off and started like put out the rest of the flyers. But yeah, stack of Anything Box flyers, put them on every single car in that packed ass parking lot. And I think some security is like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And we just started running, even though we knew we weren't going to get in trouble or anything. But yeah, then we went in, checked out the Sammy Hagar show, and we didn't go swimming. I don't know, but yeah, street team. That's weird, and it was only that one time, and then I think I just stopped. I don't know.
I miss seeing flyers. I was just this week. I went to All That Music. I wanted to see their new location in the mountains. And I saw one flyer at the counter, and I remember, the headstand, and there was plenty of places to flyer. Now I wouldn't even know where to, but it was pretty cool to see a flyer. But it was for a DJ show. So, yeah, I mean, flyers used to be. I know I've heard stories of people like I have every 101 flyer, and I would love to run into somebody like that. I know I have a lot of the flyers, but not every one.
Oh
But yeah,
wow,
flyers
yeah,
now everything's social media. So street team
yeah.
on social media.
Well, I know what are you gonna do. Yeah, that street team here. You go repost this for me or something. Yeah, yeah. It's so different now, and I mean, I know everybody says it, the good old days, but it really was like a completely different time. I mean, completely different. I remember, who was it? Was it the Caesar interview you did? That he, or no, is that I forgot his name. The comic guy, Spiral guy. He found out about a show that night in El Tiempo or something, and he missed the show because he just didn't hear about it until last minute. Stuff like that. I mean, if you miss out on a flyer, or your friends didn't tell you, or you didn't catch it in the paper, that's it. I mean, you wouldn't hear about it through any other media, you know?
Not at all. So Fishbone, that was a show that you went to also. That was at 101.
Yes, no, it was Area 51. Area 51. I've seen Fishbone so many times. It was just one of the times, and man, yeah. Oh, as always, a fantastic performance. I think that was during the time that they weren't as popular, so it wasn't a packed house. But no matter what, Fishbone always puts on a fantastic show. And yeah, look at that, 1350, man,
I
cheap,
would say that
cheap,
13
and
because I'm hearing shows now after pandemic are 30, $40 in clubs. So 13.50, what a good deal.
I know, geez. Well, I mean, not that it's like, well, I mean, they played Don Haskins. I remember the last concert that I wanted to check out, Rage Against the Machine at the Don Haskins. And how much was it? Like $75 for like Well, I guess it was general admission, but the only seats left were like way in the back, and it was still $75. I'm like, no, I don't think I'll pass.
$75. Yeah, that's all. And so let's see. Yeah, was there an opening act for that? No. Suicidal Tendencies. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that show. That flashed up on the screen. I remember the lead singer yelling at me in the parking lot
What are you yelling at
because
you about?
he was upset about something. I'm like, "Hey, how can I help you? Who are you?" And then, of course, my manager came out and and said, "Hey, let me help you out. What do you need?" He was just like, oh, my go-to guy, Joe DeClerc. Let's see how
uh,
much that was. $15, 17, not bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
I don't
That
remember who
was
the opening
suicidal
act for
tendencies.
that was,
I don't
but yeah,
remember either. No, I don't remember at all. You used to what?
we would list the concerts as E9, but it was really in the Area 51 because we were trying to do house and electronic music on the weekend. So
Hmm.
that was Area 51, but the concerts because we also use that outdoor like enclosed alley or no enclosed patio. So
Yeah.
uh,
Oh yeah, I
and
remember that. Like I remember like I can't remember what show it was, but after the concert, like, all right, everybody get the hell out. It's time to DJ. And then they would turn into the DJ, the dance club, no?
well, it was nice to have the three locations because like if we had a concert and then when it was over, we would try to encourage people to go have drinks or hang out at 101 or vice
Yeah.
versa, go to E9. Because when we had that airway location at 101, as soon as the show was over, I mean, they would just clear out. Even though we would clean up the place, encourage them to stick around. We never tried to kick anyone out, but there was all these small little bars behind us that were everybody was there because they wanted to go somewhere else. So that
Oh
was good
man.
about versus E9.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you stick around, and geez, I mean that whole area. I mean, the 101, E9, and the Area 51. I mean, you had everything you needed right there. Kind of like how it is now, except I mean, yeah, you didn't need to go anywhere else. Plus, there was nothing else around downtown. I mean, you guys were the only thing worth going to downtown for.
Well, thank you. And then another one concert. Let's see, Hate Breed. Oh, Cannibal Corpse. That's cool. Cannibal Corpse.
You know,
Man, those metal shows. How much was
I
this
don't.
ticket for? 15. Okay, that was about the wow.
I don't remember that one at all. Obviously, I went. I have the concert, the ticket stub, but I don't remember seeing Cannibal Corpse there at all. And I know I wasn't drunk because I probably couldn't afford too much booze at the time there, but I don't remember it. What?
It was on a
Well,
Sunday.
what's?
It was probably. It's always loaded up with two or three acts, and you know that's what I liked about the metal scene. They were very loyal to the bands. They weren't like, oh well, they haven't done anything in a couple of years. I forgot their last album. The
Oh
metal
no.
fans, they're like, yeah, I have every record. This guy plays bass, this plays guitar.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, and I love the energy, but like this next song is called what?
Oh, that one, that was my favorite. Oh,
But I mean,
yeah.
the people that got in the mosh pit were, they just were releasing some energy. I mean, they were very nice coming in, and then they were trying to go over the barricades, and the security guys they loved it too. So
Yeah.
afterwards,
Yeah.
everybody was high-fiving each other. So Cannibal Corpse, wow.
I think the worst thing in the mosh pit I've ever seen was at the Airway location, and I think it was a Voodoo Glow Skulls of the concert. Some guy was just in the middle of the mosh pit, just puking for like 5 minutes, just throwing up, and everybody was
Oh,
still like just going around him, like, "Come on, you dick, get out of here!" Like, and yeah, I didn't go into the crowd after that because it's just, ugh, that's a lot of puke.
God, go outside and puke. God, not right in a mosh. That's horrible. And then we have
I know.
another hate breed. We had that on screen. Oh my gosh, I love these guys. I mean, they would play forever, and then they would stay for like hours to autographing. So Man, I
I
remember
remember.
that
I
shit.
mean, do they? Did they? It felt like they played here a lot. Did they? I think they did.
I think we had them like 4 times. So,
Uh,
and I think they're probably coming back to El Paso. I imagine they're going to be on the road
yeah.
now
Oh
that,
yeah. Everyone's heading out again. Huh?
and I think Cannibal Corpse is on a huge tour too. So, wow, Jailhouse Rock tour. I don't remember the tours, but I do remember these were the nicest guys screaming, hate
See,
breathing. El Paso.
I mean, like on the ticket subs, unless you had the flyer or if you remember very specifically, like sometimes I don't remember the opening acts, and they might have been like really awesome opening acts, you know. Like I have another. Oh, where was that one? Nile, and
Yeah.
Napalm Death. I don't remember. Shit, where is that one? Anyway, yeah, I remember Nile and Strappy Young Lad, Napalm Death, a few other ones, but there's another one, but I'll never remember who it was. That's another story. At Strappy Young Lad, I remember that week I had a horrible ear infection, just horrible. It wouldn't go away, and I stuffed my ear with cotton. I went to the show, and I think Strappy Young Lad was like the third band or something, and I was up front, right? And then at some point my ear just blew. Like I felt like some crackling, some pressure, and just liquid started pouring out of my ear. I'm like, oh my God, I think I just lost my hearing. Like, I don't know what happened because it was so loud, like so loud, and I was right up front. And I got out of the crowd. I went to the bathroom, grabbed a paper towel, and just stuffed it in my ear. Like, oh my God, I'll just worry about this later. I'm missing Strapping Young Lad. I ran up back into the crowd, like, fought my way back up front. I remember after that concert for like a month, it sounded like my ear, like it sounded like a blown speaker, just static and just. I thought I
Ugh.
lost my hearing. But man, rock and roll, baby, the sacrifices you make. But that was very
Right.
memorable because, good Lord, I thought I was going to lose my hearing permanently. But it came back. I'm all right.
Wow. Yeah, the show must go on, but wow. So you have, let's see, it's called Sub Harmonic City Productions, and you've done a lot of stuff. You're doing music videos, films. Um, you did Emily Davis's latest video, right?
Yes, yes. I mean, Emily Davis and the Murder Police just came out with a new record. They went on tour with Bad Religion right before the pandemic. They're going out with Jim Ward again. And yeah, they she actually asked me to do the video for one of the singles that just came out, and heck yeah, we did it over at Brainville Studios over on the west side. And yeah, we just filmed in the studio and did a couple of takes outside of it just to add some artistic shots in there. But I love the way it came out. The whole album's fantastic. It sounds great, and yeah, we did another project as well. I'm not sure if we're supposed to talk about it, but it's already filmed and set, and it's a pretty big project. So keep an eye out for an announcement from her as to when that's going to be released. Hopefully soon here.
Well, she's going to be playing, opening up for Jim Ward. I definitely want to see that show. So, when you record a video, do you have something in mind what you're going to record, or is it like a collaboration of what the artist wants, and or how did that process work with Emily?
With Emily, oh yeah, I always ask the artist, like, do you have anything in mind? What do you envision? You know, because I know when I'm in bands and stuff, for certain songs, I have this vision of, like what the song brings to mind, what the color palettes are dark or bright, or action. Is it going to be live, or is it going to be a concept video? I always ask the artist first. But when they say, "Hey, it's up to you, go nuts," that's when I'm like, "All right, let's do this." You know. Well, the other way too, if they have a specific idea, I wanna make sure that I try to bring that to life, like as accurately as possible as to what they have in their head. You know. But yeah, I'm flexible. I mean, whatever you guys want, let me know. And if you want me to handle everything, like, I'll come up with something badass for you. You know.
And how did you get involved in that? I mean, just recording
Well,
videos. I mean,
it was just a hobby, just a silly hobby. I was working for a large telecommunications company, over here. It was a call center, and I finally got my own team. Moved on up, did some training, and then this large telecommunications company decided to lay everybody off. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people, and they shipped the jobs, to cheaper workforce overseas and stuff. So at that time, I was already doing video just as a hobby, just messing around. And then after the layoff, I was like, huh, well, I've never tried to do anything on my own. Let me give it a shot. So I didn't go back to work. I didn't get a regular job, and just started
For
doing
you.
music videos. And luckily, it stuck. I'm still doing it. What, 2 3 years later, and I've been very lucky, if you want to call it that. That it's been supporting like my family and stuff. So
That's great. I mean, I was looking at your link tree and all of the projects you have a group called, is it J Hacha De Solos? Is how do you say that?
Jay Hacha, yeah, that's all.
I
That's
like
all.
that video. Lost Space. That's a good video. And then and you have one that you can or you cannot talk about. That's a big deal.
Oh, I can. I mean, it's yeah. See, like I've been landing gigs, not in El Paso. A lot of my gigs have not been in El Paso. Like the Jay Hacha De Solos, he's from New Jersey. Mark Bryan, the guitarist from Hootie and the Blowfish, he um, he has a solo album coming out, so I got picked up to do one of his music videos as well. I did a tiny little project for The Bird and the Bee. They're Grammy winning artists as well, and what's Fig from Washington, I believe. They're they've been doing stuff for years as well. Oh, Terry Borden. He goes by Blessin' Roy. He used to be the bass player for Pete Yorn back in the day and stuff too. Did some stuff for him. So yeah, lots of stuff outside of El Paso again that I've been lucky enough to land, through word of mouth and stuff.
Do they contact you, or I mean, that or just word of mouth? That's awesome.
Yeah, word of mouth, and see that I got to get on the ball. I got to start like working social media, putting the word out there, just being more present because you know how fickle the industry is, or social media and your presence out there, So you got to really be out there all the time, or else you're going to be easily forgotten. And I don't want that to happen, of course.
I just spoke on a music panel. I was at Downtown Spaces last week. Great music panel. Johnny Cage from Hit FM. There was this Banda artist, Christina. She's two-time Grammy nominated. I'm not familiar with that genre. What a firecracker! But she has traveled all over the world, and there was a discussion, and she was talking about I need to connect you guys because she has a son and she wants to stay here for a little while, but she wants to do some videos. And I'm like, it's interesting. Yeah, we should connect the dots here in El Paso. But I'm glad Emily and all these artists are hooked up with you. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Like I love it. I mean, geez, when we grew up, I mean, in the era of like MTV. Geez, I was watching Headbangers Ball all those years, and I loved music videos, and I don't know why I never bothered trying to get into it earlier. But finally, I guess having a well-paying job and stuff, like finally buying a GoPro, then another better camera, just as a hobby, then like, well, why don't you do this full time? You've always liked it. And yeah, it happened, and I love it. And yeah, I want to do more film too. Short films.
Yes.
But geez,
Yeah, no, I saw that you had done two short films, and I want to go back and watch those. And I also like that short video you did with El Paso. I guess that was filmed with a GoPro. That was really good.
oh, thanks. Yeah, see, short films like that. I had all this time to do it during the pandemic and stuff, but well. two things. During the pandemic, not everybody was out or comfortable in order to make a short film. And then, well, now everyone's coming back out. And I have cabin fever, so I really want to start doing more short films, more stuff locally, just making little movies, maybe even a little web series or something. But coordinating a lot of people that aren't going to get paid for a little passion project or whatever is pretty difficult. But I have a few friends that I know will really be down for it. I think so.
So this is such a visual world. I mean, it would be good for some of the local bands here to put together a video, right? I mean, did
No,
you have
yeah.
some? Did you have? Well, I mean, did you have some videos for your local bands, or I mean, I don't. Well, let's see. We had MTV, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have any footage of some of your older bands that you were in, or no, or you wished you had?
I wish I had, man. I really wish I had. But I mean, like we were talking about earlier. Imagine if we had these badass little camera phones back then when we did
Oh no,
see, I don't know. And one that I really wish, it was at the attic though. If I had a camera back then when the Deftones played at the attic, oh, I'd frame those pictures now, you know?
the attic. Yeah, I think probably everybody said they were at that show, right? But
There was like 40 people there. There was like 40 people or something, you know. It was nobody was at that show. But I was, oh yeah, I got the ticket stub for that too. Yeah, it was like $6, I think. Something
man,
ridiculous.
I'd love to see that. I mean, we were fortunate to get the Deftones at the 101 Airway location, and big fan.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
I didn't see that attic show. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I was there.
No, like going back to that alleyway show, 311 and Corn. I remember it was a perfect night. It was a beautiful night. And then yeah, Corn. Sure enough, because my friend and I always did this thing where it's like, hey, what do you think they're gonna open up with? And I said, I bet they're gonna open up with Divine, and they did. And lost my mind. I remember a bunch of kids getting up on the, because there were like overhangs or something right on the sides, and they were like jumping up there. And I remember security like kicking their butts down, like hey, pulling them down because everybody started climbing up there, you know. And then 311 came on, and again, like I was a huge 311 fan back then. Like they're gonna open up with Homebrew, and they did. And yeah, the band was just they were both just hanging out with the crowd and everything. That was before they got humongous, both of them, you know. And that was probably one of my favorite shows ever. Like two of my favorite bands at the time, and beautiful night outside. I had never been to an outdoor concert here in El Paso like that, and I think that was the only outdoor concert I went to here. I mean, at 101.
Yeah, I'm just like you. Watching a show and like trying to guess what's the next song or what's the encore going to be or what they're going to start off with. That's funny. Great story.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I love it. I still do it. I still do it. You know.
So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way? Through your Instagram or, because we need to connect El Pasoans with you.
Yeah, yeah. Instagram, please. That's the best way. I have a website, subharmoniccity.com, that I have not updated. I started to, but I didn't finish it. Yeah, Instagram's going to be the best way. Instagram or Facebook. Um, I'm on there the most. I mean, I'll answer anything, the emails, the messengers, or messages through the website. But I'd say Instagram is probably the best way. And I'm going to start really getting on the ball, updating more, putting more reels or stories on there just to show that I'm active and stuff. Because, again, like I said earlier, if you're not always present, you're going to be forgotten.
Are you promise you're not going to slack it anymore, huh?
I promise. Oh, I promise. I need to. Yeah, because I mean, come on, this is my bread and butter. I don't want to. I don't want to go back to the regular workforce. You know.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I reached out to several people, and everybody has different time schedules. But you reached out to me right away, and the stories are. And I do remember you. It's been a while.
It
That's why I
has
started
been.
off. Did I kick you out? But I don't. I remember talking to you at shows and stuff like that. I definitely remember the face. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad you came on the show, and I want to stay in touch with you because, um, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your next projects.
Cool, cool, and I'm looking for. I promise, I'll go to the living room and one of these nights, and I'll look out on your social media because I've been to the living room once. Really cool, chill spot. I liked it, so I can imagine the music that you'd be spinning is just going to add to it. Mwah, you know.
Well, thank you. Well, we want to thank Hector for being. Do you go by Hector G? That's kind of
It
cool.
it turned into this thing. It's because I don't know. Oh, because I can't roll my R's, and my last name involves the rolling of the R. So I always just said because they're like, well, what's your last name? I'm like, I just say G. It's just Hector G.
Hey, I'm
So
Joe
it
D.
became, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it
Well,
just became a thing. I don't know.
okay. So make sure you check out Hector G on Sub Harmonic City Productions, the website. Well, you could. Well, it's on. Go to his link. Sorry. Go to his Instagram page, and you got your link tree. I like link tree because it has all your projects.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey, thanks,
And we
Joe. Really appreciate it, and I look forward to yeah, seeing you around town. Hit me up anytime.
absolutely want to thank everyone for listening to the Joe Dorgan Show. You can find me on YouTube, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.